Hi everyone. Today we'll be solving aptitude questions from GATE 2022. Starting with the first question. It's a fill in the blanks question. After playing dash hours. So obviously it's a quantifiable number, so it's going to be 2. So either C or D. 2 hours of tennis. I'm feeling too tired. So answer is D. Next question. The average. Okay, this is based on average topic. So the average of the monthly salaries of M and S is 4,000. Okay. So what we'll do is as we get the data, we'll start writing so that we understand that towards the end of the question that what data we have and what we have to find. So that we can map the equation later कि अब क्या करना है, next क्या निकालना है and everything on. Okay. So हमारे पास क्या है? We have the monthly salaries, the average of the monthly salaries of M, S and M. So M plus N plus S divided by 3 since it's average 4,000. So see, there might be, shortcuts. There definitely are shortcuts, but I'm not using those right now because I want you guys to understand how to solve this question properly, so that your concepts are clear. And later when your concept is clear, you can definitely, find out shortcuts to it. So yeah. So M plus N plus S would be 12,000. Fine. Next part of the question says the average of monthly salaries of N, S, and P. N plus S plus P divided by 3 again is how much? 5,000. So N plus S plus P would be 15,000. Okay. So they have given the salary of P is 6,000 and they want the monthly salary of M as a percentage. So let's try to find out the monthly salary of M first. Okay. So what I'll do is I have P. So N plus S would be 15,000 minus of P because P came from here to here, so plus to minus. Fine. जब वो लेफ्ट से राइट जाएगा तो उसका साइन चेंज हो जाएगा. If it would have been minus, वो प्लस हो जाता. अभी प्लस है तो माइनस हो जाएगा. So minus, what is the salary? 6,000. Hence N plus S would be how much? 9,000. So placing this in the first equation here, I'll be able to find out M. Why? Because M plus N plus S equals 12,000 hai. And we have the value for N plus S, which is what? M plus 9,000. 12,000 ये है. So M क्या आएगा? 3,000. So we have M का salary. What is the question exactly? What is the monthly salary of M as a percentage? मतलब salary of M divided by monthly salary of P. Salary of P. And since they have asked in percentage, तो 100%. So 3,000 divided by P का कितना है? 6,000 into 100%. So this will come out to be 50%. यानी answer A. Clear? हम लोग हमेशा what we'll try is whatever is given in the question, we'll write down all the data, all the given data, step by step. ठीक है? इसको अपने हिसाब से according to yourself, you will try to simplify it so that it's understandable at the later stage, and then see what is the demand of the question, and accordingly you'll start solving it. You see, this is how clear and crisp the whole equation is. That is going to be very helpful during the examination. Okay, because कभी कभी होता है that after reading a question you don't understand because there might be a lot of data. So after you write it down, you understand, okay, this is the data that has been given and this is what we have to find. So it will be like a mind map to you. Okay, fine. Let's move towards the next question. It's a travel distance wala question. So let's read it out. A person traveled 80 kilometers in 6 hours. Fine. If this is the distance, from here to here, 80 kilometers, he traveled in 6 hours. If the person travel the first part with a uniform speed. Okay, so first part as in it's not mentioned whether it's an equal part, some part of the whole distance. So what I'm going to do is some part of it, I don't know how much, whether it's going to be more or less, I don't know. I just assume it to be x kilometer and the rest to be 80 minus x kilometer. Okay? Okay. If the person travel the first part with a uniform speed of 10 kilometer per hour and the remaining part with a uniform speed of 18 kilometer per hour. Okay. So how much time would it be in this case? Let's say y hours, and this would be 6 minus y. Fine. Okay. What percentage of the total distance is traveled at the uniform speed? So they basically want this at the end. What is x? Okay. As in percentage. They want x divided by 80 into 100 percentage. What is this? This is their final answer. What is being demanded? So let's first try to understand the, yeah. So let's first see, if I say distance is equals to speed into time. Let's find this equation. In this case, x equals s, 10 kilometers per hour into time y. Okay. In the same place, this would be 80 minus x equals speed is how much? 18 kilometers per hour into 6 minus y. So 80 minus x equals 16 into 18. 18 into 6 would be 108. Okay. Minus 18y. So what basically I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a common factor here. As in, if I see x and I make x here also on the left hand side, I can equate both the equation. So here, what I'll do is 180 minus 108 plus 18y equals x. We got it, right? So now I can say that 10 into y, right? 10 into y equals 180. Sorry, this is not 180. This is 80. And this was a bracket. Fine. This is 80 minus 108. Okay. So this is again 80 minus 108, which would be minus 28 plus of 18y. So from here I can find out the value of y. Is not it? So it would be 8y equals 28, where y would be 3.5 hours. Hence, this is 3.5 and this would be how much? Y equals 2.5. Okay. So now I can finally find my x. How? I'll fit in here. X equals 10 kilometer per hour into what is the y? 3.5 hours. This gone 35 kilometers. Fine. So what was the final question that was asked? This. So now I can do it. 35 divided by 80 into 100 percentage. What would be the value? 43.75 percentage. नहीं? Is it clear? हमने क्या किया? पहले सारा data, whatever was given, we drew it, we marked it, and whatever was missing, we wrote the equation, right? And then हमने क्या किया? We tried to find out a common basis. We tried to formulate an equation on the basis of x. x को common रखा, दोनों तरफ x x हो गया, हमने equate कर लिया. उसके बाद x की जगह इक्वेट करके हमने y का वैल्यू निकाल लिया एंड देन सिंस वी हैड टाइम वी हैड स्पीड हमें डिस्टेंस मिल गया और हमें क्या चाहिए था एट द एंड वी वांटेड द डिस्टेंस कवर्ड इन यूनिफॉर्म स्पीड ऑफ 10 किलोमीटर पर आवर उसको परसेंटेज टू द टोटल डिस्टेंस So we found the answer. Okay, the answer is C. Chalo, next question. So the next question says that there are four girls, P, Q, R, and S, studying languages. Okay, so I know that this question needs a table. So I'll start with the table. P, Q, R, S. There are girls, P, Q, R, S. Okay. Studying in university, P is learning French and Dutch. Okay, I'll write down this languages then. French, Dutch. Q is learning Chinese, Japanese. Okay. Chinese, Japanese. R is learning Spanish. French. Okay, these are repeated now. So I'll make the table so that it's easier for me to visualize and connect with one another. Okay, now we can start with the question. Four girls write P is learning French and Dutch. French and Dutch. Q is learning Chinese and Japanese. Chinese and Japanese. R is learning Spanish and French. Spanish and French. S is learning Dutch and French. Sorry, Dutch and Japanese. So we have the equation, we have the table ready. So there's another condition given. French is easier than Dutch. Okay. Chinese is harder than Japanese, which means Japanese is easier than Chinese. Third is Dutch is easier than Japanese. Dutch is easier than Japanese. So, can I not say something here like I have seen this equation where Dutch is easier than Japanese here, and also Dutch is easier than French. So, from this too, can I say that French is easier than Japanese? Hmm? Right? And also from this and this, I can say that French is also easier than Chinese, right? Okay, next. The question says also that Spanish is easier than French. So I know that the easiest is Spanish. Okay. So I'll just make one meter here that Spanish was the easiest. French is also easiest to Dutch, and Dutch is easiest to Japanese. And then at the end, it's C because everything is easier than C. So C is towards the end. So this is the easiest meter. Okay. Now the final question is, based on the above information, which girl is learning the most difficult pair of the languages? So I'll I see that it's either going to be Japanese and Chinese or towards these. So French for P is easy. Dutch is also easy. For Q, she's learning Chinese and Japanese. Okay. So evidently it's Q, but also we'll go and check for the others. R is learning French and Spanish. So no, R is out of the equation. S is learning Dutch and Japanese. So if not Q, it would have been S. Why? Because she is learning these two languages. But Q is learning these two. Hence, the girl which is learning the most is Q. Answer is B. I hope everyone understood this. I tried to make it as simplest as possible. Okay, moving ahead, we have this question. So, a block with trapezoidal cross section is placed over a block with rectangular cross section as shown above. Which one of the following is correct drawing of the view of the 3D object as viewed in the direction? Okay. So if we view from here, what would be the shape? because since all of this is in 2D, which one is correct? So if I see from here, I'll be able to see the lines. I won't be able to see this one, this line, so I won't mark it. I'll be able to see this, 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 and this. So hence it would be okay. This is a slanting one. This is a common base like this and this. So anything nearer to this is the correct answer. So the correct answer is A. Okay. This should have been a little slant because you see this is not exactly perpendicular. But again, the nearest answer is A. If I ask the direction of view is here, what would be the answer? Take a pause the video and try to make the view if you can. So yeah, if from here I see, I'll be able to see this line, I'll be able to see this line. So even if this is land, if I look from far afar, I'll be able to see this as a rectangle and this like this. So this would have been the view if I would have seen from this particular direction. Okay, fine. Let's move ahead to the next question. So this is a geometry question. It says that a rhombus is formed by joining the midpoints of the sides of a unit square. So let's first make the square. Unit square, which means 1 unit. Okay? And a rhombus is made. So using the midpoints. This is my rhombus. Yeah. Next question. What is the diameter of the largest circle that can be inscribed as in inside of the rhombus? Okay? Since it's called inscribed, it's going to be inside. So I'll try to mark the center somewhere here. Yeah. So this is the circle, and what they have asked is the diameter. Okay. They've asked for the diameter. They are this. So the question said that the square is of a unit, it's a unit square, right? So one. And since the rhombus is made out of the midpoint, this is going to be the half unit. This will also be half unit. Similarly, all the sides. So do you see one thing? So do you see one thing? If I'm able to find out this, the side of rhombus, as in this side, it's also the same as my diameter, isn't it? So this is half unit, this is half unit, and this is the hypotenuse. So I can use my Pythagoras theorem here, is not it? So hypotenuse equals 1 by 4. Why? Because this is square of this and square of this plus 1 by 4. So this is going to be half. Okay, as in 1 by root 2. So answer would be A. Clear? So you see how making a diagram helped us understand कि हमें exactly क्या चाहिए and हमें कैसे निकालना होगा. Step by step we made the diagram here. I hope you understand the importance of diagrams from here. Okay, moving ahead. Question number 8. So the question says an equilateral triangle, a square, and a circle have equal area. Okay, so this is basically testing your, formula in your head. So for equilateral triangle, all sides are equal. For square and for a circle. So for equilateral triangle, I'm assuming it's A. For square, it's S, and this to R. So areas is root 3 by 4 A square. This is S square. This is pi R square. Okay. And for perimeter also, because the question at the end is going to be what is the ratio of the perimeters of all the three. So perimeter 3A, because addition of all the sides. So this this is going to be 4S, and this would be 2 pi R. Okay. So the first statements said that all the areas are same. So if I have to assume that let area be 1, okay, 1 unit square. So root 3 by 4 A square equals S square equals pi R square is 1. So from here, root 3 by 4 e- A square equals 1. So A, I'll get what? This would be 4 divided by root 3. This is square. So A equals 2 by 3, 1 by 4. Why 1 by 4? Because root 3 का मतलब क्या होता है? It's 1 by 2, right? And यहाँ से a square 4 by root 3, it's already there. ठीक है? यानी a square equals 4 by 3, 1 by 2. It's already there. इस square को if I move here, would not it be 4 by 3, 1 by 2, which means it become 2 by 3, 1 by 4. This is what we have written here. Okay? I'll erase this part. Fine. So next is for s. S squares equals 1. So s equals 1. Okay? Then pi r square equals 1. So r would be 1 by root of pi. Done? Now they want perimeter ka ratio, right? So 3a. 3a is to 4s is to 2 pi r is what they want. Now what is 3 into a? 2 by 3, 1 by 4. Okay? Is to 4 because s is 1. Now 2 pi and r is what? 1 by pi root. So I see one thing common here is 2 here. So I'm going to cancel it out. This would become 3 by 3, 1 by 4 is to 2 is to pi into 1 by root of pi. Okay? I'll erase this. If I have to see this and make it in terms of 3 root 3, what I'll do is, since I have a common thing, 3 here, 3 to the power 1 because it's 3 there, so 3 to the power 1 is 3, minus 1 by 4. You have a common digit here, so what you're going to do is power को simplify करेंगे. Done? So this will come out to be 3, 3 to the power 4. इसको हम divide कर सकते हैं into two types. 3, 1 by 4 into 3, 1 by 2. पॉसिबल है? हम्म? जब सिमिलर डिजिट होते हैं and they have a power, what we do is 3 and then we add, right? We add the powers. So what would this give? 2 plus 4, 6. 6 by 8. So this is again 3, 3 by 4. So you see this is what we are getting. हमने वही बस divide किया है. क्यों divide किया है? Because we wanted this to be in this function like this. So इसका मतलब यही है. ठीक है? This is 3 1 by 2 and this is this. ठीक है? So I can write here 3 root 3 is to 2 is 2. अब इसका मामला क्या है? Pi into root pi into root pi into root pi. So this basically means 1. ठीक है? But what I did is मैंने ऊपर नीचे दोनों को multiply किया. So now what I have is root of pi by pi. Pi pi cancel. I have root of pi. Okay? So my final answer would be D. Fine. This step is very important and this step is very important here. इधर I have resonated as in this is a way कि आप न्यूमरेटर को कैसे डिनोमिनेटर के साथ इक्वेट मतलब सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हो चीज़ों को लेके. ठीक है? व्हेन आई मल्टीप्लाइड दिस इट बेसिकली मेंट 1, राइट? कुछ डिफरेंस नहीं हुआ इक्वेशन में, बस मैंने इसको सिंप्लीफाई किया चीज़ों को. राइट? सो आवर फाइनल आंसर इज दिस. Given below are 3 conclusions drawn based on the following 3 statements. All teachers are professors. Okay. When such questions come into the picture, हम लोग diagram बनाएंगे. ठीक है? That will help us understand better. So all teachers are professors मतलब if this is a circle for professors and teachers ये है, तो if these people are teacher, they are also going to be professor, which means all teachers are professors. Clear? No professor is a male. No professor is a male. It means that male यहाँ पे आ जाएगा because they are both not joined. अगर मैंने इसको यहाँ बनाया होता तो क्या होता? That male are professors also and teachers also. But that is not the case. That has been given in the question. Okay. Some males are engineers. So this is a very important statement in the question because they did not mention the relationship between the engineers and the professors. So it can be of two cases. Like case 1, some males are engineers. Either it can be this, कि engineers ये हुआ, hence these males are engineers, or second case where this is my teachers, where this is my professor, this is male and this engineer. So some engineers are male, but they again they didn't mention anything about the relationship between professor and engineer. Let's see the next statements, yeah, conclusions, what's given in the question. No engineer is a professor. The first conclusion says that no engineer is a professor. So this is not mentioned. The relationship between professor and engineer is not mentioned in the question. So we cannot, conclude कि यही correct answer है because relationship between the professor and engineer is not mentioned. So we are not sure about this. So just mark it. Some engineers are professors. Again, there's no relationship between engineer and professor, so we cannot be certain about this. Mark it. No male is a teacher. This we are sure about because there's no relationship between male and teacher. Fine. So this is a correct statement. What does the question finally ask? Which one of the following options can be logically inferred? Only conclusion 3 is correct, which is true. Only conclusion 1 and conclusion 2 are correct. We are not certain about this. Only 2 and 3 are correct. No, we are not certain about these combinations. So hence our answer would be A. Fine. So whenever such questions come into the picture and we are not given about the, correlation between two elements, we cannot be certain about their independency or, their relationship. Fine. And in such questions, it's very, recommended that we make diagrams. It's easier for us to visualize. Okay. Next question. In a 12-hour clock that runs correctly, how many times do the second, minute, and hour hands of the clock coincide in a 12-hour duration from 3 p.m. in a day to 3 a.m. the next day? So there is this one YouTube channel, fine, I'll write the name, which has done a fabulous job in visualizing this particular concept. No matter how much I try to, draw and make you understand, I think that video has done justice to this type of questions. I'll write down the name of the channel. You can go and have a look at that particular, video where they have taught about clocks and this concept. So have a look at Do This Q channel and their video on clocks. This channel is on YouTube itself, right? So the summary at the end of that particular video has that the number of times the second, minute, and hour hand coincides, then comes into the opposite direction, then in line, and comes at right angle. The number of times in 12 hours and in 24 hours.
11 times they coincide. Okay, in 12 hours and in 24 hours that will become 22. Similarly, when I say coincide, as in if this is my second hand and the minute hand is ticking and it has come into the same line, it means coincide. Opposite means opposite mein hai. It's again same. In line is nothing but the summation of both. 22 this will become what 4. Right angles, we know it.
So as per that video and the summary, our answer would be, try it yourself, pause this video, think, and then see whether it's the correct answer or not. The answer is A. So that was all from GATE Architecture 2022 Aptitude. These are the selected questions from that year. And yes, there were questions which tested your basic, concepts and formulae. But yes, nice question set. So that was all. Thank you.